Everybody, it is me, Zach. This is my third episode of The World According to Zach, where I talk about all the great things that are going on in Sacramento. I delve into all things housing, including the unhoused, first-time home buyers, and million-dollar listings. And then I always throw a little bit of fun Zach or interesting Zach in the end. Hey, everybody. So I thought I would lead this month off with Black Awareness Month. And this is when we stop, pause, and celebrate all those great Black scholars, statesmen, artists, philosophers that helped shape America. And at the same time, we celebrate all of those great Black Americans that are already leading their lives, helping their families, and just trying to get ahead in the world like everybody else. And there are a lot of them, and they're amazing. They are in my life. And I want to talk about two pretty amazing people who happen to be Black, but totally changed my life. So at age 16, I came out to my father one week, and the next week I found myself unhoused. And fortunately for me, there was another great person who was also 16, and he was also living on his own and an emancipated minor. In case you don't know what emancipation is, it's when the parents give up their rights and make a minor their own adult. So both me and Jason were our own adults, and I don't know about any of you out there, but at 16, I was pretty stupid, and all of this was going down in Colorado. So I found myself unhoused with Jason in the summer. Winter was fast approaching. You don't want to be on the streets then. And Jason and a friend of his, Samantha, they always made sure that I had like food, a roof over my head, and they cared for me as if I was their own family. And they also taught me some really great values about that I'm going to have to work twice as hard to get ahead in this world if this is where I'm at 16, and that I'm going to have to do like really smart thinking in order to get ahead. Now, I'm super excited because both Samantha and Jason not only survived, but their successes in their respective worlds, and we're all still friends, and that is great. And so all of my communications or expectations and everything I have ever seen from the Black community is just warmth, wonderful, and caring. And I thought I should share that with you for a second. That, like Oprah, who doesn't love Oprah, she threw up 31. I'm looking at my notes here. History Black Americans on her website. I have a link in my bio. I think everybody should take a look at it and maybe find which one represents with them the most. And so the one that represented with me the most, or that stuck in my mind, was Bessie Coleman. She's 1892 to 1926, and she was the first Black licensed pilot on the planet. Could you imagine what that was like back in those times? So this is like kind of the Amelia Earhart times. And we should really know Bessie Coleman's name just as much as we know Amelia Earhart's name. And every year we get a little bit closer to doing that when we celebrate Black Awareness Month. Sorry, it was like leaping out of my mind what it was called. So take 10 minutes, read that article, and check it out. Be more aware, be more wonderful, be more kind. That is awesome. And that is Black Awareness Month. And my shout out to my two friends, Jason and Samantha. I couldn't have done it without you. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have been fed, housed, all those good things. Talk about my little baby dog who lost the use of his hind legs almost 3 months ago now. So every week after we do a little bit more physical therapy, he gets that much closer to walking. This past Monday, he did his physical therapy. He got cool laser therapy, cool acupuncture therapy, regular acupuncture, and then he got electric muscle stimulation. Now, I wish I could live like a king like he does, but all of these things combined with about 75 minutes of physical therapy exercises that we do every day is showing improvement and positive great things. The e-stimulation is making his paws work, his hind paws, so he's starting to feel sensation there and coordinate that with his brain. So I imagine, and he does awkward steps, but I imagine it's only days, I hope, before he is walking around normally again. The kid has so much energy. I want him to walk because he takes up a lot of time with all of that energy. So that's my Malachite update. Okay, so let's talk about all things housing for a minute, and let's talk about the first-time home buyers. So I know I used to think and get a picture in my head of the first-time home buyer as the late 20 or early 30-something person who's getting ready to, out of college, their career has started, and they're ready to start a family. And I actually have to get out of that mindset because there are first-time home buyers at all levels now. And what I'm seeing currently, and this is kind of cool, are 55-plus-year-old people who are finally looking to buy and get set up for a nice retirement with a stable payment before they step away from the working world. And I super encourage that. And even more exciting is that we have 55-plus communities in and around Sacramento that are pretty gosh darn affordable. So I was looking at one with a client the other day. $600,000, has pool, tennis courts, workout facilities, and then has access to another set of pools, workout facilities, and lots of fun activities. So first-time home buyers, it is okay to be older and looking, and I am here to help you out. Now I want to tell you a first-time home buyer story that just happened the other day, and I was doing a video preview for one of my clients. Now, in the private remarks on MLS, it said that the tenants would love to stay in the property, and I want you to remember that as I go on. So I went to the house at my assigned time to take a video, and surprise, surprise, the tenants were there. A really nice black mom, his retired mom who lives with him, and then he has a couple of kids. Super nice. They kept amazing care of the place. Can't say enough nice things about them. I whip around, do my quick little 3-minute video for my clients, and then at the end, I stop and I look at them and I say, hey, I'm just going to be super honest with you guys. I hope my clients don't want this property because I know how hard housing can be to find, and it just puts you in a bad situation. To my surprise, this guy was like, oh, hey, we're not worried about it. We have enough money to move out when we need to and get another rental and everything like that. But what do you think it's going to really cost for us to get into housing? And I really was surprised that the current listing agent hadn't even talked to them about it. But they said they were looking to spend like $380,000. And I said, ooh, I don't know. That's going to be tough for a good quality place. But did you know right now, with the traditional 20% down, 760 great credit score, that you're looking at $2,500 a month payments on a $500,000 house? Mind was blown, super excited, and so I'm glad that we were able to help him. And then all of a sudden, him and his mom, I'm just really glad to help them all. And then they said, you said something about there was some remarks that said that the tenants wanted to stay in the house. I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, that would explain why nobody's been looking us directly in the eye. And we had a good chuckle and laugh about that because, how do you look the person in the eye if you're possibly going to take their housing away from them? The great thing is that these guys have been prepared. They're saving money. And we're probably going to be able to get them into a home, their first time home. How exciting, and I'm super excited to move that relationship forward and help them find the perfect home. $1 million listings. I'm just going to check in with this one really quick. So looks like we have $88 million listings available in Sacramento. 10 of them are new. I was able to scroll through 10 of the 10 new ones, and I saw 2 that just looked absolutely great. They were at $1.5 million. They were in Folsom, and they have amazing views. So I guess if you're looking for the $1.5 million range with amazing views, you can find those in Folsom. Or if you're looking for things with amazing kitchens like the one behind me, then you're going to reach out to me and I'm going to hook you up with this great property. So I wanted to talk about the unhoused in Sacramento for a moment and what we're trying to do to get on top of the situation. So I've been super active the last couple of weeks in some great things that are coming to Sacramento and steps that we are doing in order to tackle the unhoused homeless crisis here in Sacramento. And the Sacramento Steps Forward Agency with the COC board, which is Continuum of Care Board, are the ones who are leading the charge for the city and county of Sacramento in dealing with the unhoused issue. So if you remember a couple of weeks ago, it was a rainy night. I know, we're having lots of them. I went out and participated in the point in time count. Now, this happens every 2 years, and they had 800 volunteers, and they go over almost every square mile of Sacramento County, and they count all of the unhoused persons. They also give them a gift card just for being counted if they interact with us. And this year they got a $10 Subway gift card. So the first night, super rainy out. The team that I ended up with had John Bartel from Bartel's Backroads on ABC 10. So super nice guy. We ended up driving around in his car in Natobas trying to count. And he just is a truly genuine nice guy who really loves that back road stuff and likes to report on it. It was super great meeting him. And then there was a COC board member, Christy Gonzalez. She was a spitball, full of energy. Loved her. She was screaming like, hey, we got gift cards, to get the homeless people to come out and get counted and everything like that. So it was a great experience that first night to meet those two people, and also try to really have to like go out of our way to find the unhoused people. Then I went back the next night, no rain. I had a different team of 4 people. We were around Sacramento State counting, and there's a lot of freeway on and off ramps, and there was a lot of people that we were counting in a lot of encampments. Either way, it made me sad to see what people are living with and how they're living with and how they're living. And I think we could probably do a much better job about it. And I know that in Sacramento that we are trying to do so. So about a week after the point in time count, I went to another meeting that was put on by Sacramento Steps Forward and the COC board. And this was a community input meeting on an action plan that these people have devised in order to most effectively and quickly deal with our unhoused populations, right? So this is an action plan. They were getting like input. I think they had 6 community meetings, which is great. They're presenting in the next couple of weeks, I believe, to the powers that be. And then they're implementing this action plan for Sacramento as early as April of 24. So I'm going to be really brief, if I can do brief, about this action plan. And so there's 2 trains of thoughts, or 2 steps in the beginning. And the first one is that if you are already housed, Sacramento wants to keep you from becoming unhoused. At whatever cost, we really have to do that. Because the moment somebody becomes unhoused, it is that much harder and that many more steps to get them into permanent, stable housing. So those that are already housed, we're going to try and keep them there. Now, those that are unhoused, they've kind of done about a 9-step plan. We're going to try and really go through it. And what they're doing is they're kind of putting people into buckets so that we can better deal with them, because there is no one answer for everything, but there are major buckets that we need to address and ways that we can better help them. So the first one is going to be the coordinated access system, and this is 211. So basically every unhoused person should be able to call 211, and that's where they can start and find out where all of the resources that are available to them and get them in waiting lines or on wait lists for permanent housing. 2, coordinated outreach. Let's work together with all the other agencies that are already out there and make sure that we're coordinated in what we are doing. Number 3, shelter and interim housing. Shelter housing is the 2,300 emergency beds that we have here in Sacramento to handle what they think is 15 to 20,000 unhoused people on any given night here and that. And then interim housing is sometimes medical respite housing. So a lot of people have to have procedures. They need to be in stable environments so that they can recover from that. And so they call that respite housing, and they put that with the shelter and interim housing. Then we have number 4, which is rehousing assistance. This is when we're moving people from the shelter and interim housing into permanent placed housing. This is great. This is what we really kind of want for everybody. They've got some great rental help programs that they're putting with this, as well as they're reaching out to landlords to see if they can get them more involved in the more permanent housing. Number 5 is permanent supportive housing. So the supportive permanent housing is, I believe, that there's always going to be a certain group of the population that are unable to work, or fend for themselves, and through no fault of their own, they're born with a disease, or they have a behavioral problem so bad that they just can't work or deal with the public a lot, or if at all. And so the sooner we realize that, the sooner that it is more cost effective for us to build housing and house those types of people, that they have better qualities of life. It costs us less as taxpayers, and that is just really a good thing. So then we have number 6, which is diversion and prevention. So this has to do with the court systems a little bit. We want to be able to make sure that people who are being released from prisons and counties have some sort of setup, right? So that they are housed and that they're not being in that cycle again of becoming unhoused, doing bad things, and ending up in prison or jail again. Then number 7 is capacity building and training. So capacity building means that anybody who has housing, we need to find out who you are and get you connected with the types of people that are going to work for you. There's a lot of seniors right now who need housing, who can't afford to live on their own at $2,400 a month, but maybe you're another senior and you can offer it to them at $900. You can both live together as Golden Girls, if you remember that TV show. But we kind of need seniors helping seniors a little bit out, and capacity building and training you, the public, and training us how to better connect everybody with it. The number 8 is integrated services with behavioral health. Behavioral health is really its own thing. Most of the time, behavioral health does need to be addressed with prescriptions, and so it's a little bit more challenging because you have to stabilize people, and that we need to integrate those services. So if somebody is having behavioral health issues and they have medical complications, we want all of the different systems and organizations working together to get that person off the streets and living a better, healthier life. And then finally, we want to do integrated services cross platforms. So there are high needs people who will be at one emergency room one day, they'll be receiving behavioral health at another, and then they'll be using another little local agency for bus passes, etc. And what we can do is we want to integrate those agencies so that they're all talking, and then we can make sure that we know that they're getting this done there, this done at A, this getting done at B, this getting done at C, and maybe we can add some other things so that we can integrate them all, give them E, F, and G by one of those organizations, and we can find them housing. It is no easy task. I love learning about this stuff, so I'm going to keep going to these meetings and see what they're doing and see how I can help. So that is my unhoused update. Okay, let's talk about some fun things now that are going on in Sacramento that I hope I am able to do, or just want to make sure that I shared with you. The first one is that Mardi Gras is here again, and they are celebrating it on February 17th. That is going to be happening at the old Sacramento waterfront. If you haven't already been there, old Sacramento has that wild, wild West Town feel, which is kind of cool. And it's where all the tourists go the first time that you come here. And it was what Sacramento originally was, but it's not how it is today. But it is pretty cool. And they're expecting 50,000 people for that. So if you're looking for something fun to do, February 17th, celebrate Mardi Gras with everybody down there in Old Sacramento at the waterfront. Then this other super cool thing that I saw, and you'll be able to find all of this stuff, links in my bio, and I'll put it in the comments below if I'm able to do that. It's called a character breakfast. This is super awesome and fun for kids. We know kids love to dress up as princesses and mermaids and Spider-Mans and Superman, but now they can go have a breakfast with other adults who are dressed up as very cool characters. Always fun for kids. This is happening February 9th. It's in Folsom at Busy Kids Playtown. So I'm sure the space is limited, so check it out. Go there. If you have kids, they are going to love this. I don't think that this is the only organization that's doing this, because I have lots of friends who are taking their kids to various kind of places where they get to dress up and have. Now I wanted to talk about something fun for the adults to do. I don't know if you're aware of this place. I absolutely love it. And it's Roscoe's Bar and Burgers on K Street. Now, the food is great, but what I really love about this place and what influencers love about it and people who post on social media is the plethora of backdrops for all the great stuff you want to post. Now, you're going to add drag show to this. That's right. So on Sundays at 10:30 and 1:30, they have a drag show brunch at Roscoe's Bar and Burgers. It's super fun, lots of photos, lots of entertainment, lots of involvement. And so if you're looking for something to do on a Sunday, make sure you make reservations and go check this out. It is so much fun. Okay, hey, so we have come to that part of the podcast where I'm going to just talk about random stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is the dry January. It is over because we are in February now, and a lot of people were doing it. A lot of my friends were doing it and colleagues, and want to know if anybody else there did it. I did it. I loved it. I'm already a lightweight, Larry, so I can have one drink and I want to dance on top of the tables. I have that second drink and people are worried about me driving home. So it wasn't hard for me to do the whole dry January. And actually, I found myself a little bit more focused, on point, creative, and excited about things. So that is what happened to me with my dry January. I would love to hear what happened to you. If you were able to make it the full 31 days, if you thought about it but didn't do it, all that good stuff. There's a lot to talk about there. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about today is New Year's goals or resolutions. I do New Year's goals because resolutions, it's resolute. And then I kind of kick myself in the ass when I'm unable to do the resolution. So instead, I kind of do goals. I have like daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and annual goals that I'm trying to do for the whole year. And I don't get really mad at myself if I don't get them done. But so I'll share a couple of them with you. And the first one is I'm trying to do a walk a day, and weather permitting. And so rain, go away, so I could get more of those walks a day in. And then you might already see it on social. And I'm trying to do a big bowl of vegetables or salad a day. And the reason why I'm posting those on social media when I think about it is more of an accountability thing to myself. Like, so if I post it on social, then you're my accountability coaches. And then I'm eating that salad or bowl of veggies a day. So I'm doing pretty good with it. I probably had like 5 days year to date that I have not had the salads, but lots of great energy there eating salads. That is all I have to talk and share with you today. I'm excited to see everybody again in 2 weeks, talk about some great topics that I am already working on. And I want you to remember to always like, subscribe, comment, and share. It's what makes the world go around in social media. I love your comments. Keep them coming. I'm learning lots of great things. I feel like I'm getting more and more comfortable with this podcasting every episode. But I do want your feedback, and I do want you to like, subscribe, share, and comment. That's it. That's all I've got for today, and I'll talk to you soon.